At the past, a recent email from a viewer inspired us to run this next story about the estate auction of former U.S. Senator George Bowers. This piece was actually produced for another program called West Virginia Journal. We called it the Sale of the Century because it was.
The West Virginia books alone pretty much covered everything that was printed and available throughout the 19th century and the early 20th century. Many of the books I had never seen before. Although I had read about them, seen references to them, I had never actually seen them before because they are so rare.
We did try to count the books, and we came up between 15 and 25,000 books on a rough count. That's just books.
Any good bargains today?
It was pretty expensive. I still don't know how my husband paid less and got more than I, who paid more and got less.
Probably the nicest piece that I bought was the complete record of the trials of Aaron Burr, done in 1805.
Now, here's what I really wanted. I picked up 3 volumes of Atkinson's Casket.
The auction took place in the summer of 2000, and it attracted collectors from across the country, even as far away as Japan. The items sold included a first edition copy of the Book of Mormon. It went for $44,000. A page from the original Gutenberg Bible sold for $19,000. And someone paid $12,000 for a rare teddy bear clown. Here's the first installment of a 3-part series produced by John Nakashima.
In most small towns, there's usually at least one family whose wealth and influence makes them stand apart from the rest of the community. For the last 100 years, the Bowers family held this special status in Mannington. The Bowers Pottery Company was the largest employer in town, and the family's worth totaled in the tens of millions. But Frances, the last of the Bowers lineage, did not flaunt her wealth. In fact, few people ever ventured beyond the front rooms.
When my daughter was in the Girl Scouts, so we were in the house. My daughter presented us to Mrs. Bowers, and they served us tea, things like that. It's all very proper. Of course, we didn't go in more than 3 or 4 rooms of the house, so I know if the rest of it was like the part we've seen, it was real nice. Actually, it had been built over so many times and remodeled. The house sort of lost its style. You didn't know what it looked like to start with.
I'm from Mannington. I live 6 blocks away. Everyone in town knew they were wealthy people, but we did not have a clue as to how wealthy they were until we got in here, because nobody had seen what was in this house till we came in here.
The house looked like time had stood still since probably the 1940s. The purchasing of all the items in the house were done mostly in the 19-teens through 1920s, and some probably still through the 30s, but there was not much purchase after Mr. Bowers passed away in the 40s. You know, most people, when someone passes away, you go in and clean out their closets, their drawers, and you move on, and you either sell it or you dispose of it, and they never did that with anyone.
Everything from all the daughters and everything was always kept. They never threw nothing away. Everything's there. They left the rooms just like they was when they was living.
There was a safe in nearly every room in the house. There were 9 safes in everybody's personal room. Everybody in their bedroom had a safe, plus the main house safe, and then there was the safe that all the dining room, like the silver and those items, would stay in. But the one that I found most exciting was when we did the grandmother's safe, because that's where all the real good mine-cut diamonds were. I mean, you open that safe and there lays all these diamonds and wrapped in their little blue velvet containers, and just like on a treasure hunt.
The Bowers had stored jewelry, furniture, and other valuables all over the house, in attics, closets, and servants' quarters. It took the auction company more than 3 months to sort through this vast collection.
They didn't throw anything away. Nothing. Nothing. Definitely nothing.
There was just stack after stack after stack, and a lot of canceled checks, receipts, all kinds of various records from back through the 1940s, some of it even into the 30s. The stuff was fairly well organized. It wasn't like it was just thrown in a big, huge pile of a mess, but there was just so much of it that there ended up being 18 tons of garbage that had to be removed. And for us to make sure that everything we actually threw away was absolutely garbage, that's hard for an auctioneer to throw 18 tons of stuff away. You know, we value everything.
A country music venue near Fairmont would be the site of the sixth-day auction, an auction which would eventually be extended 2 more days. From 22 states came thousands of dealers, collectors, and the curious.
32 and a half, now 35, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, but get 7 and a half there, 37 and a half, but get 7 and a half, but get 4,000, but get 4, but get 4, but get 4 down 2 and a half, 42 and a half there, 42 and a half, but get 2 and a half, but get 2 and a half, but get 42 and a half there, 41, 41, but get 41 there, 4 grand, 1, but get 41, 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 but get $4,100 bill. Sold the gentleman here at $4,000 on buyer number 2 buys.